Alright, hey guys, I'm going to show you my solution for waterproof long-term ammunition storage. This is a good idea if you're looking for something cheap, reliable, tough, and accessible to anyone, really. You don't need to find this on Amazon or pay big bucks for it, so it's kind of nice. Now, what I've got here is obviously some black ABS. You can use PVC as well, but I use ABS because it's what's available to me. And so with this stuff, it can get a little bit pricey if you don't know where to find stuff properly. Like if you go to like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that, you'll probably end up paying $10 for one piece of this. But I got a lot of my stuff from job sites, and like I work in construction, so I have access to a lot of this stuff for free. Just scraps that would have otherwise been thrown in the trash, but is perfectly usable. So I had to buy my fittings. I know where to get those cheap in my area. So really, one of these units costs me probably about 15 or 20 bucks. And so this is a 3-inch ABS pipe, and I have a capped end, obviously solid cap, and a clean out end. And this is just the screw-on cap, so it's accessible for later. And this is good for if you're wanting to bring a lot of ammo with you into a boat, or if you want to bury it for long-term storage, and just even if you want to keep it on a shelf. It's really good for that because it just keeps the moisture out, and if it falls off the shelf, it's not going to break or anything like that. It also is great for if you have children around, because they're not going to have the strength to open the cap. I barely have the strength. I need to use tools actually, and it doesn't take much to get these caps pretty tight. So yeah, I'll just show you what I got here. So I've got some labeling on top of what I got in there, and labeling on the side in case the ink wears off, because this one in particular is going underground. So let me see here. So I have the cap loose, obviously, and then let me just grab some stuff out of here. So got ammunition, and I've got different amounts of ammo in here. I've got some 40, some 9, some 5.56, that kind of stuff. It's all just kind of separated, different layers. And in between the layers of ammo, I use shop towel just to keep them separated. And also I use shop towel as a moisture absorbent. If water were to ever get in there, I would hope that this will just kind of capture it before the water gets in there. I mean, if water gets in, it's pretty much pooched. You're done. The ammo is probably not going to work, but we want to try to avoid that at all costs, so I throw that in there. And so silica, put that in there. And I usually put silica pack at the bottom and at the top, and shop towel in between. And also the shop towel serves more than one purpose. Not only is it there for water, which it's not going to do a good job if water gets in. It's going to absorb it, but it's just going to hold it. It's not actually going to trap it and keep it from spreading to the ammunition. But excuse me. But it also helps keep the ammunition from shifting a lot, because when I put the cap on, it compresses it a little bit. You can feel it when you turn it. So yeah, I've got this guy. I'll tighten him down, and there's actually an O-ring on here. And what you don't want to do is actually tighten this cap too much, because it will squish that O-ring out, and it's really easy to over tighten it. And then if you just have a quick inspection around the opening, you'll be able to see that O-ring starting to slip out of there, and that's basically useless then. So they say, what I found online is that you're only supposed to go about hand tight. I do a little bit tighter than hand tight, and then I inspect the O-ring to make sure I'm not over tightening it, and then it's got a good seal. I like to actually take it a step farther, and I put a little bit of gun oil on the O-ring just to kind of help provide additional seal. And so then after that, I tighten her down. I put oil on it, tighten her down, and it should be good to go then. You should be able to throw this in the ground for a little while, and it should work. But I don't really fully trust that. And I've done a test. I did a test last year with a smaller ammo can. Same thing, just smaller diameter, a little bit shorter, and with some ammunition I didn't care about. And I threw it in the ground, buried it below the frost line, which in my area is 4 feet and below. And it survived all the way through the winter. I dug it up 8 or 9 months later. And when I dug it up, it was fully submerged in muddy water. And when it wasn't in muddy water, it was sitting in clay. So it was a torture test, and it survived. I opened it up. The ammunition was dry, not a drop of water. It made it through a -40 winter, and the ammunition fired. So there was no issues there, and it was steel case ammunition too. So I'm not sure if that'll make a difference, but yeah, it lived. And then so my plan is for that ammo can, it's gonna turn into something similar to what I have here, which is this guy. So that guy is gonna go in to one of these for a double wall container. I like to go overkill. So here in Canada, the cost of ammunition is quite high. Right now we're seeing the price of 5.56 being at around 60 cents a piece. And so you don't want to take a chance. You're going to spend that kind of money. You want to make sure your ammunition is going to last. So I'm going double wall with all this. I'm also getting this a lot cheaper than probably what most people can get, just because I have access to the materials for some of them for free. So if you're going to do the same thing as me, I would actually go step up larger than what I have here. This is 4-inch pipe. That's 3-inch pipe. And the 3-inch pipe barely fits into this, and only with some small amounts of grinding around the edges. You gotta take off these little grip pieces there, that are built on, and then you gotta take off just a little bit. And I just use a belt sander and hit it real quick with a belt sander to take that material off, and it's just enough to let it slip into one of these. And then what I do is I throw a silica pack at the bottom of this one. I throw this one in upside down so that the clean out end is at the bottom of this one. And then this guy, I throw a silica pack in on top, and I tighten down the lid. And then with this guy here, he's ready to go. I've greased over top of the oil or the O-ring to ensure that water can't even touch the O-ring, or as best as I can, I'm trying to avoid water from touching the O-ring, even though the O-ring probably will do its job anyway. I'm just going completely overkill to make sure that this will last, because honestly, if you're going to commit to burying something like this, you're not going to be digging it up every 6 months. It's going to be in the ground for years. So you want to do everything you can to keep it from getting spoiled. So that's what I do. I throw these in there. And then another key thing is good soil. You want to bury it in a good location. You don't want to throw it in a high water area. And for my torture test with the little one that I made, I deliberately went to a swampy area that I knew of, and dug down and there was some moisture, but not like pooling of water. But I knew that it would probably fill up with water later, and it was deliberately a torture test to see if it would live. So you don't want to do that when you're burying these to actually make them last. You want to look for sandy locations that are gonna shed water real easy, or rocky locations where you can still at least dig it up easy enough, but any kind of gravel area is going to shed water a lot easier than clay or topsoil or anything like that. So preferably actually on the side of a hill is a good place to do it, and good soil location. So if you have all this stuff in place, silica packs are important. They're free. You can get them anywhere, and you can buy some if you want. You can even get those expensive, well, they're not too expensive, but you can get the silica packs that are reusable. You just bake them. But honestly, for this application, you're not going to be digging it up to do that, so you want just silica packs that you can throw in and forget about. So just get whatever you can get your hands on, throw it in there, and make sure you got lots of silica packs, and make sure the lids are properly tightened. And if you've got good soil location, you bury it below your frost line, then you're pretty much set. And I would fully expect one of these to last 10 years at least, because this ABS product anyway, they use it in houses in our area, and there's clean outs and stuff buried, and they go 30 plus years without seeing the light of the day. So it's trustworthy, it's reliable, and strong, cheap, and since it's not metal, I guess it's a little harder to detect, but I don't know. It might just be just as easy, but whatever. So yeah, that's how I do it, and it's pretty simple. So yeah, if you find yourself wanting to bury some ammo for the long term, this is the way I'd suggest. If you know of a better way, go for that too, but this way works for sure. I know it, I've tested it, and I trust it. So yeah, have fun with this one. I think you can also substitute PVC. Same idea, with clean outs and pipe and whatever, just same idea. I decided to go with ABS because the wall is a little bit thicker on this product. If I go to my local Home Depot and I get the same, like if I get 3-inch PVC or 3-inch ABS, the ABS has a thicker wall, so I just went with the ABS, and I get the ABS parts for free. We use them all the time and whatnot, so it's easier for me to use ABS, but PVC works good. So yeah, have fun, man.